Hey everybody, Mike Guillaume from Sons of a Pitch Soccer Podcast, live stream reaction, watch along, whatever you want to call it. We're here for Inter Miami and Nashville SC, both teams playing their first ever MLS Cup playoff game. We have one playoff game in the books, just wrapped up a few minutes ago. New England Revolution and Montreal Impact. The Revs get it done at the last minute. What will this one do? We're here to talk about it all night long. Nick, how you doing tonight?
Mike, as I put in our YouTube chat, which is already going strong, so if no one or if you haven't joined on the chat, definitely come on over to our YouTube channel. Join us on Facebook and Twitter as we're broadcasting. Get in on all of the conversation. But like I mentioned there, I am full of chicken wings, Jack and Coke, and MLS playoff excitement. So I am in a great mood. Kids are in bed. My wife's upstairs watching her shows. Like, it's just nothing but soccer for me right now, man. I'm loving this.
Nice. So we got a bunch of people asking in the comments, when's the game going to start? I'm guessing the game is going to start probably around 8:20, 8:25 in that range. The lineups came out at like 7:20, 7:23. So we'll see when that comes through. But thanks everybody for jumping on with us and hanging out here with us while we do this. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below. Get into our 1,000 YouTube subscriber challenge. When we reach 1,000 YouTube subscribers, one subscriber will be randomly drawn to win a $250 Visa gift card. It's that easy. Click that subscribe button and make some money and have a chance to make some money. So with that, we've got the lineups to talk about. Some strong lineup from Nashville. Few missing from Inter Miami, which we've already discussed in the chat. Starting out with the home team for Nashville, they have Willis in goal, Lovitz, Romney, Zimmerman, and Alstair Johnston at the back. Dax McCarty, the Iron Man Dax McCarty, Godoy, Mule, Mukhtar, and Leal in the midfield, and Jonder Cadiz up top. So probably their strongest lineup would be my estimation in this one. Now for Miami, they're missing a few guys. Gonzalo Higuaín out. Surprising that Pizarro is in. He was with Mexico on the international duty, and he is in the lineup. They have a lineup of McCarthy, De La Garza, Figal, Powell, Ambrose, Matuidi, Trapp, Morgan, Nialis, Pizarro, and Aguadello. So Aguadello will be up top. Pizarro, Morgan will be kind of playing in that midfield on the wings a little bit. Matuidi and Trapp in the defensive mid, and then a heavy defensive presence by De La Garza, Figal, Powell, and Nialis, as well as Ambrose on the wing. So going to be interesting to see how Miami swings up and down here, up and down these flanks with a five-man back. But that's what's going to make it fun to watch on the road. So, Nick, what are your thoughts on those lineups?
No, absolutely, Mike. Starting with Miami, you're right. They're a much more heavy defensive lineup. They're saving Pellegrini and Carranza and Shea, Ben Sweat, guys like that are on the bench to come in depending on the game situation. So they're going to start very defensive minded here. You're right. They're down Higuaín. They're down one of their best players, their main scoring threat. But you still got Morgan. You still got Pizarro. Those are your two top scorers in the season. And those guys do know how to find the back of the net. Interesting to see how Trapp is going to play because you've got five guys along the back. Maybe he doesn't drop back as far as he usually does, playing a center defensive midfield type role. Maybe he and Matuidi are looking to kind of push a little higher, pressure a little bit of Nashville's front line and midfield, and maybe try and get some counterattacking goals. So keep an eye on Trapp and Matuidi. I think that'll kind of tell you what Nashville is going to be doing, what Miami's going to be doing. Meanwhile, Nashville, it's exactly what we expected. Their best lineup with their best players, and absolutely, I'm looking for Cadiz to be getting touches. I'm looking for Godoy to be making runs. Leo, Mukhtar, Muil, those guys are all going to be crashing forward. They want to take it to Miami early. They want to set the tone. They're at home. There's a huge contingent of Miami fans that we're seeing in the stands right now. So glad that they made the trip. Miami's first season, first playoff game. Good on those fans. But they've got a really steep challenge as we kick the ball off right here in Nashville, Mike.
Just underway. Yep, it's good to see that Miami's got fans in the stands on the road, and of course there are fans in the stands for Nashville as well, since Tennessee is not a COVID lockdown state that we're seeing right now. So underway again. I'm a little annoyed with the football lines on the field, but that's because I'm a soccer purist. But you know what? We'll make do. Very cool to see two expansion teams playing each other in the first round of the playoffs. Somebody's going to move on. Somebody's going to get their first playoff win tonight as an expansion side. So that is fun. We got a comment here that I wanted to pull up. So Noob, he says, or she says, not sure, it's a he, says real danger is Leal and Morgan. Absolutely. Leal is the most dangerous player for in my opinion, for Nashville. Mukhtar, maybe a close second. Jonder Cadiz still kind of fitting in. He's got a couple goals, but then Lewis Morgan, that the game rides on him. If he has a good game, I think Miami will be in this one. If he doesn't have a good game, forget it. Nashville takes it.
Absolutely, Mike. I mean, we said it in our previews. We've set for the season. We've said it in our playoff preview. Nashville needs to rely on their star. I'm sorry, Miami needs to rely on their star power. I'm getting all mixed up here. Meanwhile, Nashville is going to rely on that defense. They've got one of the best defenses in the league this season. Hey, real quick though, before the game really gets into some of this action, as they're kind of knocking it around here in the second minute, just shout outs to everyone who's joining us. Cameron Young, all the way from England, man. Thank you for joining us. As he's a goalkeeper over in the Plymouth Argyle system there. So glad you're watching the game here. Yeah, football lines, right?
Lines, American football lines, right?
There it is. Thanks to Bel Bustos, Paulo Belandes Guzman, Ryan Anderson jumping on again, one of our good friends here. To Noob, Rocky does it all. Rocky, we got you covered, man. It's only the second minute right now, and so far Nashville's looking for the quick breaks. Nothing too crazy in this early stages of the game. David Barliak, thank you for jumping on. I mean, we appreciate everyone. Who else is out there, Mike? Who's got some?
Roman Poblano, Bal Bustos, Pablo Guzman, Gang G joined back today. Let's see, we got Rocky, a whole bunch. We got some Facebook viewers.
Thank you guys. Yeah,
we got Shashank Agrawal on Facebook. Thanks for joining. We've got a few other people. The list goes on and on. Right now, I think we've got 42 watching with us. We've got 20 on YouTube, 10 on Facebook, 11 on Twitter, and Paulo Guzman just subscribed. Thank you, sir. You are entered into our $250 Visa gift card challenge. Thanks for subscribing and hanging with us tonight.
So, Mike,
all right, as we stand right now, Nashville in possession in the middle of the park, just looking to get something going here. Very slow pace to this one at the beginning of the game. Not much movement from either side. There's big Jonder Cadiz in possession right now. Goes over to Mukhtar, plays it back all the way back to Walker Zimmerman, and over to Danny Lovitz. Daniel Lovitz.
Oh, your favorite player.
My favorite player. Any of you who have been along for a while with Sons of a Pitch Soccer, you know how we feel about Daniel Lovitz.
Look, he's a very solid MLS defender, but all the minutes he was logging with the USMNT could have been spent in developing other players, and for that I will always criticize Greg Berhalter and coaching staff. I'm not trying to rip on Lovitz. The dudes is making the most of the opportunities, but there's no way he should have ever been playing USMNT matches.
Yeah, not a chance. He definitely. Not worth the USMNT spot, not when we have as much young talent as we do. So here, all the way back to, I believe that's McCarthy in goal for Miami. He launches one, and it goes out of bounds for a throw-in for Nashville. Lovitz grabs the ball. He's ready to throw this back in. A little quick, trying to get a little bit of pace going here. He passes up to Alex Mule. Mule gets it deflected nicely by the defender, and there was a nasty foul there by, I believe, Nialis on Alex Mule, and looks like a yellow card's coming out in this one. Not sure. They took the camera off the ref, and he was reaching for his pocket, and then they put it back on him after his card was put away. So I don't know if he actually pulled the card out or not.
Well, Mike, I'm about 10 seconds behind you here. I just saw that foul. You heard me cringe a little bit, and that he came in hard. He came in studs up, catches Mule right on the front of the shin, and I'm sure VAR
right on the top of his foot.
Yeah, I'm sure VAR is going to take a look at it.
They glad do not take a look at it.
Oh no! All right, never mind. But I'm glad Elfith is like, okay, I'm not going to start giving out cards this early in the game. It looks like it was just a collision as you slow it down a little bit. So yeah, Mike, you take it. You take the lead. If there's anything of note here, you cut me off if you got a few because you're a few seconds ahead of me.
Absolutely. So we got a comment here from Morel on Facebook. Hey guys, from Scotland here. Lewis Morgan used to play for the team I support here, Glasgow Celtic. Funny enough, didn't get given much of a chance here, and great to see some Scottish players doing well. Even Gary Mackay-Stevens He was at Celtic too, but didn't get much game time either. So thanks for jumping on there, Morel. Appreciate it. And hey, Height Hager has jumped on with us as well. Hi, Height Hager. Good to see you here. And Nashville still in possession now. They're trying to build something up there in the attacking third. Long cross in. Mule goes down on the ground looking for a penalty. He's never going to get it. That was very, very light on the defender there. It looked like Fagal was the defender involved in that clash with Mule as they show the replay. And, Mule just runs right into the back of him and then just drops like a fly. So, nothing there.
I mean, worst case, their legs got tangled up, and that's what happened. But, yeah, when you're looking at the referee before you even hit the ground, probably not going to get that call.
Right.
Not gonna get that call. But you know what? As an offensive player in the box, he had no play on that ball. So his only thought, hey, maybe I go down, maybe I draw a penalty, maybe I force the referee to make a decision. Now, hopefully the referee doesn't decide to give him a yellow for simulation, but he took the chance, and, I'm sure we'll see other players do it again.
Oh, for sure. And well, we've got a second here. Nashville building up possession at their back. Everybody who has joined, we have now joined our Cash app. We have a Cash app. A user told us about that during our last live stream reaction for the USMNT Panama game and sent over a nice tip. And so if you guys are in the tipping mood for us doing our jobs here and being great streamers, live streamers for these games, you can just scan that QR code and send us a small tip, $1, $2, whatever. We're happy with that. Don't like to beg for money, but since all the YouTube streamers are doing it, why not? So it's here down on the bottom as well. Where the hell? I can't even point at it, but right over here next to me, you can scan that as well. And we appreciate everything that you guys can do.
And Mike, wait, you're going to do that again in the second half when everyone on here has about a beer and a half or 2 beers in them. If they're watching the game, let's throw it back up at that time.
Exactly.
Hey, real quick,
here's Pizarro in possession. Ball goes out of play, and Pizarro, Alex Mule standing on top of Pizarro, and Pizarro just pushes him right over out of bounds. Mule is, Alex Mule's always been the type of player where he is like an instigator and tries to get under guys' skin and whatnot, but he's taken it to another level so far tonight, man. It's been, I think he's been on the floor about 3 or 4 times now, and he's pulling.
Nice move by Miami's coach Alonso there to help him up a little bit. Whether or not he really cared or was just trying to make it look nice for the referee and the cameras, but a good looking move nonetheless. Hey, Mike, we mentioned some Scottish players. Morel, if you've got some takes on, say, Johnny Russell or who's the young defender at TFC on loan from Liverpool, make sure you hit us up on Twitter at SOPSoccer or email us, podcast@sonsofapitchsoccer.com. Let us know what you think. Give us some good hometown scouting and what's going on with these guys. I'm loving to see these players who maybe can't, go straight into a major club in Scotland, in Denmark, in Belgium, who can come over to the MLS for a year or two, really prove themselves, and then launch their careers overseas. I think Scotland's taking advantage of it, and they're ahead of the curve.
Yep, absolutely. Inter Miami with a free kick into the box from about 40 yards out, and easily cleared out by Nashville, but it does go out for an Inter Miami throw. Mikey Ambrose takes the throw into Lewis Morgan. He tries to do some dancing around Dax McCarty, and McCarty and Godoy get mixed up, and nobody goes for the ball, and Miami ends up taking it, and then Daniel Lovitz. Daniel Lovitz. Just wait for that. Watch it, Nick. It's coming in about 3 seconds.
All right. Wait. Daniel Lovitz. Oh, my gosh.
Tries to chest it back to his keeper, and he chests it out of bounds for a corner. Oh, man. So Miami getting set up here for the corner. Lewis Morgan's going to take this to swing it in. He blasts to the middle of the box. Nice ball there. Fagal almost gets his head on it. But a foul is called on Miami, and it'll be a free kick. Elvis Powell was getting ready to do a bicycle kick there, but then the whistle called it off, and he didn't finish out the bicycle. But here comes Nashville now with a free kick out of their own zone. Plays it short. Mukhtar ends up with possession, goes all the way back to Romney. Romney switches over to Johnston, I believe. No, it was Walker Zimmerman, and now over to Johnston, and now back to Zimmerman. So a little bit of back passing by Nashville, just kind of getting comfortable here, and
that's it, Mike. Both teams need to kind of do the game a little bit. It's the first playoff game for each franchise. It's the first playoff game, of the season, barring the New England Montreal game earlier, which was also jacked up on energy. So we're into the 12th minute now, and these teams do need to build some possession and take control of the game. No team has really established themselves or imprinted their style yet. And it's early. It's early. But you know what? Nashville is at least trying to do that and building from the back. It looks like Miami is just, as soon as they get the ball, they're just looking forward and booting it. As I see Muyl get crashed into the boards here again. Dude, the next Miami player that fouls him is probably going to get a yellow card.
Maybe. We'll see here. It looks like Lovett's probably put his foot on it, try and get a outswinger into the box. And Miami lining their guys up, Figal being the kind of the captain in the back there of the center backs. And nope, it's Mukhtar sends the ball in, and it falls in the middle of the box. Almost was dangerous there, but Miami gets clearance to it. Lewis Morgan gets on it and boots it up the field. And now Daniel Lovitz kicks it back to Joe Willis. So while we've got a second here, we got Heithager asking about thoughts on New England, Montreal. That one, what can you say? I picked New England. New England should have won this game by more. From the parts that I watched, I did take a little trip over to Dairy Queen with the kids, and had to have Ryan Anderson on with his live stream reaction on YouTube there, which looked like it was doing pretty well there. And from what I saw, New England owned this game. Should have been more than that. And Montreal does get back in it, but can't finish it off. And New England gets the 2-1 victory with a last-minute goal by, I believe, Gustavo Bo. It was what I expected. I didn't think of anything else, to say about that one.
Yeah, it was a
a blast! Holy cow! Golazo is right. Leal with a absolute bomb from about 35 yards out. Holy cow! Did they vote for goal of the year already?
I'm pretty sure it's regular season only, but that could be goal of the playoffs, Mike. Like, that was just a screamer, upper 90. I mean, you just see how jacked up his teammates are for that goal.
Oh, yeah.
And just as we say, Nashville is starting to grow into this game. 1-0 to the Music City. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Man, that's just an unbelievable shot from about 25 yards out. That was nice.
Why are the Miami
Nashville?
What are they trying to get here?
I'm not quite sure what they're complaining about. There's really nothing to complain about here. It was a long shot, and he blasted it into the top of the net. I mean, there's nothing to complain about here. But
so I think they're trying to say that one of the other Nashville players was offside when the ball was played forward.
Oh, okay.
And unfortunately, this is kind of that tricky offside rule, because one of their defenders actually played the ball and headed it back to Leal. No offside because it was off a defender, right? So they're trying to get an offside call on the initial ball forward, but not going to get it. Not going to get it. Again, appeal it, throw your hands up. Maybe you get a call later on in the game, but that's a good goal. That's a great goal.
Yeah, absolutely. Rocky says, where is it? Here it is. Rocky says, okay, you guys are awesome. Call the game, LMAO. All right, Rocky, we got called off. We were talking about something else, and then this happened. So sorry, but we'll do better from now on. And you're going to have to show us how it's done when you're here Sunday night with us on our live stream reaction for Portland, right? That's right. You don't even have to respond to that, Rocky. I'll send you the link.
There you go. But no, man, every time I look at this replay, it just gets that much better and better. And, with the football lines on the field, Mike, you can actually measure the yardage to the goal. So, yeah, you're about right. That was about 20 yards out or so.
Yeah. Yep, the lines, you can tell with those football lines, man. The 18-yard box is right on the 10-yard line. So that would be 8 yards on top of that. So, yeah, just got to do a little bit of math.
That's why you're the numbers guy. Counting here. Now, meanwhile, we're in the 16th minute. Nashville, once again, has the ball back, and they're building. Miami is giving them the middle of the field, and they're just kind of, bodying up as when a Nashville player makes a move into the offensive third. So Nashville, I'm not sure what kind of defensive shape we're looking at here, Mike. I don't know if they're trying to just keep their 5 men along the back and then maybe play like a box midfield or like a man in the midfield, or I'm not sure what I'm looking at here. And I know the pregame call, they were saying the same thing. Like, they looked at Miami's lineup and went, how is this going to work for Miami defensively?
Penalty. And there's a penalty for Nashville. Or is he calling goal kick? Oh, he's calling goal kick. Okay, he was pointing. I thought he was pointing to the spot, but he was pointing for a goal kick. Could have been a penalty. Mukhtar runs into the box, and Powell actually may have been right outside the box. But Powell just puts his shoulder into his back and pushes him, extends the arm out, and Mukhtar goes down, and the ball rolls out of play, and the referee apparently just gave a goal kick instead of a foul. So that one was close. Here's Mule now in possession, does a couple little step overs, gets the ball taken away nicely by Rodolfo Pizarro, who's playing awfully deep on his defensive end here. I guess he kind of has to with this. So here, Gang G says he wins 68 euros if Nashville wins. So come on. All right, Gang G, I'm with you there. I've got money on Nashville as well. So hopefully that will pan out well for both of us.
It's funny. I'm watching that replay of Powell committing the foul or not committing the foul in the box there. And you know what? That's a matchup I like, because he's a guy who's maybe a little more offensive minded, maybe playing a little out of position tonight. So if you get those matchups and you're going at him in the box, you might get another foul call. You might get a penalty. So keep going at Powell. That's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, as far as with the shape as Nashville still continues to build here in the middle, Godoy passes over to Leal, goes back to Godoy. They're playing a little bit of 1-2 in the middle of the park as they pass back to Walker Zimmerman. They're back in the back line. This shape, they've got 5 at the back, and Alvis Powell, he's going to roam. He's going to be all over the place. So
usually you see a team who has like 2 lines of 4, and that's going to be kind of their defensive formation. Right now, Miami has a line of 5 and then a line of 2, and then the rest of the team is just kind of running all over chasing. It looks like just a weird, demented version of Matias Almeida's man marking for half of this field, and I don't know what's going to happen.
So I got to ask, I mean, for any of the Miami fans or if there's anybody on the stream that's watched a lot of Inter Miami, I've only watched a few games of theirs. I've never seen them in this formation. Is this something that they're comfortable with, or is this just kind of a move where you're kind of scratching your head? Why the hell did they put this lineup out? One thing I learned from Greg Vanney with Toronto FC is you never put in a lineup based on the other team. You always make them play to you, and that's what I think might really come back to haunt Miami here as they boot the ball out of their own zone. It almost falls to Aguadillo there, but cleaned up nicely by Romney as he sends it over to Lovitz. Lovitz looking for something up the park, sends it to Alex Mule. I'm surprised he didn't fall down there because he's always looking for a foul. Mukhtar in possession, cuts into the middle of the park, looking for Jonder Cadiz. Nothing there. Dax McCarty one-on-one with Aguadillo. Aguadillo runs right over him, but no foul. Ball runs right into the path of the Nashville player, and they're back on the attack. Leal looking down the right-hand side, looking for a run there of, I believe, Dax McCarty, which is a very odd spot for him. But there's a foul, and Nashville will have a free kick from about 22, 25 yards out at a decent angle.
Hey, real quick, Mike, there's a great bit of trivia that just popped up over on Twitter here that I'm monitoring. Miami has conceded 7 goals from outside the 18 this season. Only the Red Bulls have conceded more with 8. So maybe they do like packing them in the box, and I'm glad Nashville took advantage of that.
Okay. Nice. So let's see, we got a couple. Cameron Young says, Mike, I'd never see you as a betting man. And then Ryan jumps in and says he does picks and predictions with the betting odds. Of course, Mike bets. Thank you. Thank you. I do. I've been betting on sports since I was like 13 years old. I made my mom send in money to Sports Interaction in Canada. And I was like, wow. I'd bet like $5 a game. And my mother just let me do it because she loves sports too.
There goes your allowance, Mike.
Yeah, right.
I also got to laugh at Mike Hagger's comment here. Drinking water with Daniel Lovitz, loving it.
Oh man. Also, Paolo says the 5-3-2 system can be the most versatile system of all. It can turn to a 3-5-2 or a 3-3-4 when you're desperate. I love the 5 defender line. Yeah, it's a very fluid formation. That is for sure.
But they got to play like that. They got a game plan for that, right? Like it doesn't look like when they transition to offense that those wingers are pushing forward or that one of those center defenders is pushing forward.
Right. Here is Mule now just outside the box, sends it in. Oh, there's a tackle, and there's going to be a penalty. Yep, that's a penalty. All right, he plays it into the box. McCarthy's yelling at the ref. Mokhtar beat McCarthy to the ball, toe tapped it to the outside, and McCarthy got just the tip of his toe, and he felt like he just got run over by a Mack truck. And here's the replay of it. And yep, Mokhtar just gets he gets to the ball before the keeper. I don't know what the hell he was doing. He's like setting up for the save. And we might have a bit of a dive here. Because nope, he got the bag. He got his shin.
There's contact. It wasn't one of those scenarios where I'm just gonna flail and knock this guy over. I really think the keeper was making a play on the ball. But you know what? There was contact, and if they called a penalty, I'd be hard pressed to argue against.
Yeah, it looks like he called the penalty. Now whether they whether they're looking at VAR, but the ref is pushing the goalie back on the line, and Pizarro just standing next to the ball. He's about to get yellow carded if he doesn't shut up. He's already stepping up to take it. I believe it is Mokhtar, which I always hate seeing the guy who draws the penalty taking it. He steps up, he shoots right down the middle, he scores. It's 2-0 Nashville, and they are running away with it 24 minutes in to this one. 2-0 for the home team. They've dominated right since the get-go. Paolo is happy. Nashville dude. All right. Man, boy, I thought this game was going to be a little bit better than this. I really did. I mean, I figured Nashville would be the better side. And I know Gonzalo Higuaín really hurts having him out, but man, I don't know, man. I'm a little nervous here for Miami. This might get ugly.
I mean, it could. They got to figure something out. I mean, you've got 5 subs still, right? Maybe they use an early one here to switch something up, right? And then bring in some guys at halftime if you need to. I don't think that if you're Miami, you let this go any further because they have no shape, they have no identity, they have no creativity, they don't know where they're going with the ball, and to give up 2 almost penalties, one that actually was a penalty, they're struggling here, Mike, mentally and as well as tactically.
Yeah, totally. Ryan Anderson says, I think I'm about to win all those bracket challenge leagues he's in. And he said that, what did I say about this game? Going like I expected it to. Absolutely. You were spot on there, Ryan, with your predictions here. Now, speaking of those bracket challenge leagues, join our bracket challenge league, SOPSoccer. First place prize, win some limited edition champion swag. So get in on that league. There's still time, even though we've already started the playoffs. There is still time. We've got, I believe, till tomorrow morning at 11 because they're not making you pick these games tonight. So tomorrow at 11, you got to get your picks in for it. Join our league and get a chance to win some of that awesome swag there. One of a kind, awesome swag.
Created by our one and only Michael Yalmy here.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right. So here we're back underway. Got Miami in possession, which is not something I've said a lot of lately. Playing out of the back, trying to calm things down here since they've just been getting run off the park. Here is Blaise Matuidi. That is the first time I have said his name. He goes out wide and then back to Matuidi, tries to send a long ball up, but Zimmerman's not going to have any trouble with that. He sends it to the keeper, Willis, and then back to Zimmerman. Zimmerman looking to distribute up the pitch. He sends a long ball up, and it's headed out by Figal, but only as far as Leal. And then the defender there, I believe it's Mikey Ambrose, took it over. Will Trapp takes it over for Miami in the middle of the park. He tries to send the ball to Pizarro, and Morgan just got in the way of that one and stopped the pass. That would have been a nice through ball to Pizarro. Wouldn't have had to send him in on goal, but he definitely had some space. So these guys are kind of getting mixed up in where they're supposed to be on the field as well. But finally, a little bit of pressure from Miami now. Will Trapp in possession still, and now that's cut off, and Jonder Cadiz takes it over for Nashville. And Mukhtar to Dax McCarty and Mule, and now Nashville's breaking. Just as I say that, nice through ball, but he's going to be way offside. But the keeper comes out to take it anyway. So a little bit of a good little stretch of action here for a few minutes. And before I get your take on that bit of action, looks like Miami's coming back in here. If you have joined us and you have not subscribed, do that right now. Hit that subscribe button. We need your help to get to 1,000 subscribers so that one subscriber will be randomly drawn to win a $250 Visa gift card. $250 for you. Somebody out there that's watching tonight could win $250. We're over halfway there. We're at like 550 or so right now. Like to get to around 560, 570 by the end of this live stream reaction. Hit that subscribe button, like our post, and share it as well. Let's get it out there. Thanks, everybody, for watching. And possession is 71-29 for Nashville right now.
Wow. A Nashville team who is more of a defensive team who, as we said in our playoff preview, like the guys who have the most minutes for that team and are some of their most productive players is their back line. They've got 70+% possession. That blows my mind. It's like Miami forgot what they're doing.
Yeah, this doesn't even look like the Miami team that I saw just a couple weeks ago playing Toronto FC when I last watched them. And they didn't fare well in that game. But, and then there's David Barliak says, I'm going to subscribe, but it's not about the money. Thank you very much, David. Appreciate it. Yeah, if you guys are soccer fans, hit that subscribe button. We are always putting out lots of great American soccer content, CONCACAF content, all that. We got Esor joining as well, saying, let's go Inter Miami. Thanks for jumping on. And here's Height Hager says, Mike, I've meet Lovitz, hydrate with him. Nice. Good stuff.
That's cool. She was saying that, he's a really cool guy, and I'm absolutely happy to hear that. I'm glad Lovitz has that kind of personality, because he definitely needs it if he's not going to be getting any USMNT call-ups again.
He's still a good MLS player, right?
He is.
And here is Gang G says, no Pepita, no party. Yeah, that's what it's looking like right here. But, man, poor Gonzalo. And, hey, Frederico is in there. So he's on the bench, isn't he? I believe he might be. He might not even be on the bench. So that we'll see. And here's Veronica.
The other one, Mike.
Medina Valerio, I'm subscribing. I love your content. Thank you very much, Veronica. Appreciate it. Love to see these comments coming in. Keeps us going and doing what we do. Makes it that much better.
And I just looked up Daniel Lovitz. I don't think he's ever had an award in MLS. He won the Canadian Championship with Montreal last season. Sorry, Mike, not to bring up bad TFC memories.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
I don't think he's ever made like a best 11 or Defender of the Year voting or anything like that. So
not even close. He's a good MLS depth piece.
Okay.
I'd put it there. I mean, he's not going to be a TAM guy. He's not going to be a guy that's making best 11s. A back post swing here, and Pizarro almost gets on the end of it. But, he's a good depth piece, good, decent contract, good veteran player, provides that good leadership for an expansion side like Nashville. And for your middle of the table type teams, he's a good pickup. I'll give him that. And Gang G says, yes, both Higuaín brothers have COVID. So hopefully a speedy recovery for them. I know Federico is getting a little bit up there in age. So, but he's in shape. He's a good soccer player. I'm sure he'll be fine. But anyways, Will Trapp picks up a yellow card on this one. And Veronica asks, who's winning? The answer is Nashville. So right above me, got the scoreboard here. Nashville is up 2-0, and it is the 31st minute, just about to head into the 32nd minute. A yellow card to Will Trapp for Miami. So now they're center defensive mid with a yellow card. Ooh. More troubles for Miami.
I mean, the only thing I'm seeing out of this is Nashville is just smelling blood in the water, and they are just going to keep attacking, keep pressuring. I think even if they give up a goal, they're going to keep doing the same thing because they're going to get one back. So this is just not working for Miami. I almost kind of feel bad for Miami right now, just as poor as they're playing. And, as exciting as it was to go into the season, as exciting as it was for them to make the playoffs, they're all out of sorts. They need something to rally around. And these hard tackles and ridiculous fouls, that's not how it works in soccer. I mean, you want to start a fight in the NFL or throw an elbow in the NBA, maybe that helps get your team jacked up, pick a hockey fight or something. It's not working for Miami right now.
No, it is definitely not. I think, you look at this, these guys are going on the road. They've got a bunch of COVID cases. I believe we said 5. They've got 5 confirmed cases, could be more. It's obviously, I have to think that has something to do with how they're playing. Right. That's and David Barlyak says it's 2020. Who knows? Absolutely. Nashville could be up 4-0 and then, something could happen. So game's not over until the fat lady starts singing right around the 95th minute. So
tell that to Montreal.
Right. Exactly. So, all right, here comes a substitution in the Alice, and there goes that 5-man back line. That's done. So good on Alonso for recognizing that was not working. That was not going to work. And by making that sub there, Pellegrini coming on, replacing Nialis, a good move 30 minutes into this game to really switch up the formation and then try and pick this back up.
Absolutely. And it's crazy because there's people I'm trying to monitor a little bit of the Twitter and the social media feedback on this game, and people are calling for Alonso's head. I'm like, this guy's first season here, right? These are the same people who are saying that he's gonna have Miami be the next Atlanta. Like, just settle down here, soccer Twitter.
Yeah, I think that honestly was the worst thing in the world. As the corner kick comes in, it's cleared out nicely by Nashville. I think the worst thing in the world for MLS was Atlanta United winning, and LAFC being as good as they were right off the bat. Like Atlanta United going in, winning an MLS Cup in their second year, LAFC winning the Supporters Shield in their second year. That really puts a lot of stress on these teams, these fans, all that kind of stuff. It's just not realistic. It's just not. You look at any sport, an expansion side doesn't do well for a while. So,
I'm going to disagree with you here slightly, Mike. Yeah, because maybe on the field, but you know what? They got their fan bases motivated, and they got old dodgy cheapskate owners and clubs to say, crap, maybe we do need to start spending some money. So you're right. It kind of changed the expectations for on the field results for the worse, but I think it improved the league overall for a lot of the intangible things.
Yeah.
But hey, I want to point out real quick too. We're in the 30. At least what I'm watching is in the 35th minute here, and I'm seeing the possession is slightly starting to shift. Nashville is now down to about 61% possession. So Miami is at least removing some of their opportunities. They're not really building up much, but these last 5 minutes or so, Miami is starting to string together a few passes, get into the offensive third. They had a corner kick, they had a free kick. They're not finding anyone. I don't think Miami's ever really relied on set pieces unless Higuaín's blasting them in from in front of the goal. But but they're starting to maybe see a little switch here. Maybe they're starting to ease into this game and say, you know what, that wasn't us. We're better than this. Let's flip the switch.
Yeah. No, I think it's happened, especially with the change in formation. I think it's definitely going to change things up a bit. So a couple comments here. I want to toot our own horn here a little bit, Nick. So David says, I have never been interested in podcasts, but this one is fun to watch. Thank you, sir. Check out our regular podcast episodes as well on Monday night, and we'll get you into podcasts. And then Official Morel, I'm believing that was Morel who was on Facebook. He's found us now on YouTube, so make sure you hit that subscribe button there. Right. And he says, this is good. Usually I'm watching the games on my own as it's almost 3 a.m. in Scotland, LOL. So there you go. We're here for everywhere. It's funny, Scotland, anytime anybody comes on from Scotland, I absolutely love it because our logo right next to me is made in Scotland. So we had worked with what was it, FPL Graphics, and I think it was like some like fantasy football league, like real football. And he was from Scotland, and he created that awesome logo that we've been using for a long time. So love to see it. So thanks for jumping on here with us, guys.
So yeah, man, I'm just looking and it looks like Nashville's starting to maybe kind of see the half out a little bit. I think they're starting to knock the ball a little bit more around in the defensive end. Maybe that's how they want to rebuild possession. But you know what? Miami's got the ball back. They're starting to turn them over a little bit more. I'm kind of concerned about Nashville's fitness here, Mike. They're expending a lot of energy. I mean, it's been worth it. They're up 2-0, but they are running hard, running fast. I wonder how they're going to manage the last 15 minutes of this game and even the last 5 minutes of this first half. We'll see what sort of subs come in, if any, at halftime. I expect at least one. You got them, use them, keep some fresh legs out there to prevent Miami from pulling one back early. But we'll see. I think that's another little thing we got to keep an eye on as this game rolls on. Meanwhile, Zimmerman fouls Pellegrini in the middle of the field there. I guess you give him the foul considering Zimmerman's like a foot taller than him and kind of came through the back of his head. But Zimmerman actually got around him and got the ball. So that's great.
Yeah, that's I don't know. I thought it was a decent tackle, but he did go through him. So ball goes out of play. Now I got to disagree, man. I'm thinking, I don't think they're really playing for the half. I think they're just trying to read this change in system a little bit.
Okay.
You know, everything was running perfectly for them, and then all of a sudden, you know, they're going to switch it up. They take the 5 out at the back and put in another forward. So I think they're just kind of reading it a little bit. Miami's, you know, feeling good about themselves with the change. So we'll see how it rolls out there. But I think we're probably not going to see much more. I think it's getting more even to the game. So I like that. As Miami now plays the ball forward, and Romney passes back to Willis, the keeper for Nashville, sends it all the way up the field, and looks like Leal trying to get ahead on it, but Miami takes over possession, and there is a foul called on, God, who is number 12 for? Oh, and now they're pushing. Matt Tuidi runs up to, I believe, Leal, and pushes right in the chest there. You know, there's a World Cup veteran right there, and Blaise Matuidi. He knows what he's doing. He's trying to fire his team up.
World Cup champion. Let's not undersell it. Right. Playing for France there. You're right. That's a total veteran move.
Yep.
He's not doing anything that's going to get carded. He's not doing anything that's going to start a brawl, but he's firing up his guys, and he's sending a little bit of a message to Nashville. I don't care that you're up 2-0. I don't care that we're about to end the first half. We're going to keep fighting, so you better not slow down.
Yep. No, Ismail Elfat's giving them both a word. And Dax McCarty just said something and smiled at Matt Tuidi. I think I know where that was going. Like, listen, buddy, I'm an MLS vet over here. But, yeah, it was definitely, you know, a move to get these guys fired up. And you know what? It might work. I mean, it's the old hockey analogy for me being, you know, a Canadian. when your team's down by a couple goals, what do? You drop the gloves, get the team fired up. And that I think that is happening right now for Miami as we hit the 41st minute now. And Nashville in possession of the ball. Matuidi's still jawing at people. He's trying to fire his team up before the half so he can give a nice passionate halftime speech there with his coach. Here's Zimmerman, goes out wide. Long ball up the field to no one, and it goes out of play. It'll be a Miami throw in, and Alonso kind of has the deer in the headlights look right now. And people calling for his head. I don't know. That's a bit crazy.
I mean, it's soccer Twitter. Do you expect
right? It's soccer Twitter.
You're there. So what's funny is I like how you pointed out how McCarty was kind of like laughing and jawing at Matuidi. It's like, I don't care that you won a World Cup. This is my league. You're my house now. I love it.
Yep.
And here,
here comes Lewis Morgan, swings it down wide to Mikey Ambrose, but it just missed him and goes out of play.
Man, Miami just can't find that little bit of creativity, that little bit of spark when they get into the final third. I mean, they're starting to string some passes together in the back. They're starting to play a little better defense in the middle of the field. But that transition to offense and that trying to find that, that mismatch, that overlap, it's just not there yet.
No.
But they're improving on it, Mike. They're improving on it. And as, I pull up the quick stats here on the MLS Soccer, possession is now 58-42 in favor of Nashville. So Miami's definitely making some things happen.
Yep. Hey, so I'm reading through the chat over here, and Heit Hager says that she broke her leg. I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks. Hope you get better soon. And she says she's in the hospital, so hope they have good Wi-Fi there so you can keep watching us. But good luck with the recovery. Hopefully it's not too bad of a break, and you'll be better in no time.
Absolutely. Get back rehabbing. Get back out on the pitch.
Yep, absolutely. So here's Nashville now. McCarty passes over to Leal, goes back, and now a long ball up the pitch, but nobody there except for the Miami player. Miami sends it across in the defense, switches it over to the other side. Figal, tons of space in front of him, and finally gets it to Pizarro, who's got two guys on him, and draws the foul there. Pizarro thought that was a bit of a dive, but the ref calls the foul. Had a bad angle on it. Pellegrini now passes it in the middle of the Will trap, and the ref plays advantage on another one that was really not much of a foul. So I think Elfath's just trying to get the game under control after that little dust up to kind of see it into the half under control. Alvis Powell sends it into the middle to Matuidi. He tries to do some slick little move into the box, but nobody home on that one. Alvis Powell just blasted about 15 yards wide of the net. Yeah, not a good look there from Alvis Powell. So, all right, man. So we're almost there. About a minute till halftime. What are your thoughts here of the first half before we take our halftime break?
Well, I wish Miami would have been ready to play from the start of the game. They only really picked up their intensity the last 15-ish or so minutes. Nashville came ready to play. They bagged 2 quick goals, and unfortunately, they're kind of letting Miami grow into the game a little bit. I know Nashville always has relied on their defense, but it was their offense that stepped up early. So kind of flip the script a little bit. I'm going to be really interested to see when the subs come in. Anyone who's listened to me talk about soccer knows I want to see subs come in when they can still make an impact in the game, not in the 85th minute. I want to see them come in, around the 70th, 65th minute, maybe 1 or 2 at halftime. If there's some tired legs or clear holes in the tactical game plan of the team. So I'd like to see, wouldn't surprise me if we got 1 or 2 at halftime from either side, but I want to keep an eye on fitness and subs going into the second half. Mike, this ain't over. Miami is still poking and prodding and looking to grab one right before the half here.
Yep, 1 minute of stoppage time. It's definitely not over, but Nashville is in a good spot, although they do say the worst lead in soccer is a 2-0 lead. 1 we'll see here how this one, how the second half plays out. I think it's going to be exciting. I expect to see probably Miami getting, I think they'll get back, get one back and make this one interesting. At least that's what I'm hoping for. We will see how that goes. But about 30 seconds or so, Matt Tuidi now in possession just outside the box, sends it over to the left wing, and a cross sent into the box, but Romney is there to easily head away. And that one is cleared out nicely by Nashville all the way up to Jonder Cadiz, but falls to Figal of Miami. And looks like this is going to take us into the halftime break as Miami sends out a long ball there. And he does get onto it at the end line there. Mikey Ambrose sends in a cross. Zimmerman clears it out, and there's your halftime whistle. So we will be back in a little bit. Halftime, perfect opportunity for you guys to jump on and send us a tip for our cash through our Cash App for our live stream. Any little bit helps us continue to grow the game of soccer through conversation here in the United States of America. So whatever you guys could do would be awesome. And with that, we will take a quick break, and we'll be back in about 15 minutes. All right, guys, we're back from halftime. A little bit of a snafu here on my YouTube TV. It just went out of the stream. I tried to restart it, kept going back out, and well, we're back on now. And Inter Miami just had a chance in the box off of a long ball in, a free kick, and shouts for a penalty here as Mule goes down and kind of trips up Alvis Powell, but no avail there for a penalty. And Nashville is back in possession as they play the ball out. Randall Leal plays the ball out. So halftime stats in this one, kind of a tale of two halves of the first half, really. You had Nashville really start out strong, and then Miami came back and made that substitution after they were down 2 goals and kind of pulled things back a little bit more even. This one, total shots is 3-2 Nashville. Shots on target, 2-0 Nashville. Possession now is almost back to even. It was at one point 71-29 Nashville. It's now at 52-48. So tightening up on that end. I think we're in for a hell of a second half here, Nick.
Yeah, absolutely, Mike. And, you know, if I'm Miami, the way you finish that half, you got to be feeling pretty good. And if I'm Nashville, the way you finish that half, you got to feel pretty good that you still have a 2-0 lead. So I expect more energy. I expect to see it up. We've only had one sub so far. I'm trying to see if there was a halftime substitution. But I don't know if there was. Oh, Mike, you got some game news?
Pellegrini had a great chance inside the box. A couple new viewers jumped on here. Funny stuff. Kartiki Dixit. So a couple guys jumping in, and then Salvador Chavez is back on as well. A good chance here. Back pass into the center of the box, and Pellegrini unmarked sends it over the bar. That would have been a bit of a game changer there, but didn't get it done. So with that being said, to all of our new viewers, hit that subscribe button down below. Get into our awesome 1,000 subscriber challenge for a chance at $250. And you're an MLS fan. You're looking for a stream of this game, and you're joining the conversation. Make sure you subscribe. Turn on those notifications so you never miss when we go live. We're going to be doing lots of live stream reactions and playoff content here during the MLS Cup playoffs. So hit that button there below. Like and share as well. Miami with another shot on goal. Willis, easy save for him. And he looks to kind of slow things down here because Miami's come out hot in the second half.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I'm just, responding here on one of the comments from Funny Stuff. She's talking about the quality of play here. And I just got to say that this is definitely not what you would expect when you watch an MLS game. You've got Funny Stuff watching from Wales, another viewer from the UK. This is great. This is definitely not your highest quality MLS game right now. You've got obviously the COVID. You've got two expansion teams playing in the first ever playoff game. You've got mixed up rosters, and I wouldn't say that Miami is playing their best game, and they're trying a new lineup. Speaking of, Kartiki Dixit asked, what do you guys think? Will Miami come back in the second half? I think they're going to get one back. I don't know if they're going to come back to draw, but they're definitely going to get one back based on the way they've been playing and the way that they came out to start the second half. So, Mike, there is one other little. Go ahead.
So, just got the notification. Kartiki Dixit, subscribe to your channel. Thank you very much for subscription there. Appreciate it. Yeah, I think Miami is back in this game for sure. Whether they can pull off a 2-goal deficit to force extra time, we will see. But I think they have a damn good chance at it. And hey, we've got Jay Jardine watching with us on Twitter. Jay, how you doing, my man? First playing game went well. This one ain't so bad. Yeah, the first game, of course, with us Toronto FC fans, of course it went well with my Montreal getting knocked out of the playoffs. Got to love that. But I'll leave that alone right there.
Hey, wanted to point out one thing. We were talking about referee Ismail Elfath right before we ended the half, and how he was trying to make sure that those little scrums with Matuidi and Liel Mukhtar and McCarty's jabbering, like, they don't get out of control. I was looking a little bit up about Ismail Elfath. He was actually referee of the year this season. He's the 2020 MLS referee of the year. This guy has been refereeing professionally since at least 2013, since 2009. He was refereeing back in the NASL. So he has been around. He's won awards. He's been at every level. So I think this is the perfect guy to be officiating this first ever playoff game for both of these teams here, and to keep things under control and, not be noticed. Right? That's what we want out of our referees.
That's what you want. And he's definitely started. He's been a good referee for sure for a while in MLS. Pro referees are bad. They're a joke of referees, and especially with everybody on, from England and Scotland and Wales and Romania and all this. You guys actually have real referees there. U.S. referees suck, but Elfath is actually pretty good. I would say Elfath, Alan Chapman is another good one. Alan Kelly is pretty decent as well. So he's pretty good. But here we got David says the lighting. Nashville Stadium has very good lighting. Looks like it's 12 p.m. Yeah, it's a very, very bright stadium, that's for sure. And I've driven past that a couple times at night with the lights on, and I agree. It's definitely lighter than most from the times I've driven past it. So ball goes out of play here. It will be a goal kick for Willis in the Nashville goal. Alvis Powell is really moved up high. He is, he's definitely not playing back in the defense anymore. So it might be kind of looking like a bit of a three-man defensive line here for Miami as they push forward, which again, you got nothing to lose, right? You're down 2-0 in the playoffs. You're going home. Your season's over if you don't win this game. So why not just just go for it and move some guys up.
No doubt about it. It was crazy to see how much defense Powell was playing in that first half and almost giving away the penalty too. So I'm happy to see that Miami's made some tactical changes coming out of the locker room. For me, I'm going to give it 10, 15 minutes, and then I think we're going to see another shift or some subs start to take effect in this game as that Daniel Lovett's getting into the offensive third and playing in some deep crosses. Wow, Nashville going for it. Love to see it.
Yep, Nashville needs to do something. They can't just sit back. They got to push forward. If they get beat on the counter, so be it. They need to push forward, because when they were pushing forward in the beginning of the game, they were owning the game, and they need to get back to that, because we all know Breck Shea's coming in at some point, and everybody get worried there. And as Rocky says, I had to take off my epoxy gloves to vomit emoji about refs.
It's funny though. Like, I think a lot of people here in the States look at pro referees and think, oh my gosh, they're terrible. This is awful. But, I've yet to see a lot of comparisons to other leagues. I mean, obviously, Mike, you're right that the Premiership is probably going to have some of the best referees in the world there. But you know what? I don't think there's much of a variance between the quality of referees around the world. But I'll have to look at the numbers, and I haven't watched enough international soccer to comment one way or other. I just hate giving our guys a hard time. We know how much they've built. We know how much they put into it. It's not like NFL referees who can't get a call straight with 2 minutes of reviewing it. Right.
Yep, Miami with some nice play in the offensive third gets broken up nicely by Walker Zimmerman. Who else but somebody who was in the conversation for Defender of the Year this year. I don't know if they called that one yet.
Defender of the Year? I haven't seen it. I'll give it a quick check here.
Yeah, I think they might have given it to McKenzie already from Philadelphia. Maybe I'm wrong. But here comes Inter Miami. Matuidi's got plenty of space in the middle of the field. Sends it over to Pizarro on the right. He sends it across, blocked out nicely by, looks like, Dax McCarty, and that'll be a corner kick for Miami. Dax McCarty, man, that's a guy I would love to see win an MLS Cup. He has been a tried and true player in MLS for a long time. Never had the chance to lift the cup, and definitely deserves it. Kind of like a Jeff Lorenowitz story with Atlanta, right?
Absolutely.
So here's getting ready for the corner. Lewis Morgan's going to take this one. He has, I said in the beginning of this broadcast, I think in order for Miami to do well, Lewis Morgan needs to play great and have a great game. And so far, he has not had a great game. Definitely more quiet. He hasn't done his normal Lewis Morgan stuff as of late. So that's definitely telling in this game. Corner kick gets swung in. Joe Willis comes and grabs it, and he'll be distributing it quickly up on the right-hand side to Alistair Johnston. He sends it into the middle for Mokhtar and back to Alistair Johnston. And now Miami gets the defensive clearance in, but Dax McCarty wins it back at the midfield point, runs. He's got tons of space in the midfield. Blaise Matuidi just kind of jogging there. And Dax McCarty, holy cow. Nobody wants to touch Dax McCarty. He sends it in from probably 25 yards out, and that should do it, ladies and gentlemen. This one, Cameron Young said, it's done. Man, wow.
I'm speechless over here, Mike. That was some of the worst defending that I've ever watched, just as I try to defend it to some of our international viewers here. Like,
I am in awe right now of Blaise Matuidi.
Oh my
God. This ball. He runs in. Yeah, it's not his guy, but he's just kind of jogging, not really running after him. And then he's pointing when he's behind him. He's like pointing at everybody. And then Dax McCarty shoots it, scores, and he just starts like yelling at everybody. Dude, what are you doing? You were starting a fight, like a hockey fight, right before the first half. Show that passion in the game on the field. Come on.
Oh, my gosh.
That was bad.
Especially after McCarty was the one like John at him too afterwards for him not to hustle back. Like, there's no added incentive there. That's terrible team defending. It's terrible individual defending. Like, to let Nashville's defensive midfielder make like a 40-yard run down the field and find the back of the net. That's absolutely atrocious by Miami. The only way they could get back in this game is if they get one within the next 5 minutes, because I just don't see them now having the mental toughness to get back into this game after watching McCarty make that run. And hey, by the way, Mike, nice call on it. You just talking about how much you want to see McCarty succeed and maybe win a cup here, and then he comes down a minute later and finds the back of the net. So keep talking these guys up, Mike. You're getting a little fortune teller going on here.
Usually it's the other way around. When I talk smack about somebody, usually they come back and it just slap me with a little bit of karma there. But this one was different. So Dax McCarty, he's fired up. It's his third career MLS postseason goal, and no defense whatsoever. As Tony has joined us. Thanks, Tony, for joining on Facebook. Why didn't anyone from Miami step up and challenge him? That is a great question. Wow.
They're going to be asking themselves that all off season. Why didn't anyone step up and challenge Dax McCarty? Unless they thought, it's Dax McCarty, this guy can't shoot. Well, if you're playing in the MLS, you're good enough to at least kick the ball at the goal. And it worked out in that sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man.
Cameron Young says, talk about Miami, please. Yeah, Miami's trash. They played like complete trash so far tonight. Unfortunately, they don't have the ball right now, so it's not my talking's not going to help much. But man, yeah, it's rough. This is
right. They've still got a 5-guy back line. They've still got 5 guys hanging deep, down 3 goals with a half hour left of regular time here. Like what's going through their minds? Like the switch should have been flipped 10 minutes ago. They still haven't flipped it. Like I don't get it. And then you still got Alex Mule for Nashville, like getting in deep, holding up play, killing some time, drawing fouls, drawing throw-ins. Like he's still doing it. And Alvis Powell, like, why is he back defending again?
I don't know.
That's ridiculous, Mike. Nothing makes sense for Miami tonight.
No, not at all. Definitely a very poor showing from them. I mean, I guess you can kind of expect that. I mean, we expected it with we both said Nashville before this game started, and that was before we knew that Higuaín was going to be out. So, I mean, Nashville's been the better team as of late. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Hey, I want to get back to, we talked about the Defender of the Year. Zimmerman did win Defender of the Year this season, narrowly beating out Mark McKenzie. Zimmerman took the club vote and the media vote and gave him about a 5% more vote over McKenzie. But here, Mike, how do you feel being a TFC fan that the 5th and 6th place finishers were Chris Mavinga and Richie Larea? Those are your 5th and 6th Defender of the Year voting with 4% and 3% respectively.
Well, Mavinga, yes. I think barring his injuries in the middle of the season when he missed like 4 or 5 games, I think he is definitely in the picture for Defender of the Year in MLS every single year. He is a damn good defender. Richie Larea, the only reason why he's on that list is because he's had a breakout season offensively, and that really started in the postseason last year. But yeah, that's that is it is what it is. I mean, I'm looking at the Miami bench right now. Dude, they've got nothing, They've got nothing. They've got Julian Carranza and Breck Shea. That's about it. And I believe
Ulloa warming up coming in.
What's that?
Is that Ulloa warming up?
I think it's Ulloa coming in. And I'm not sure who the other player is coming in, but as Gardicky Dixit says, because Inter is having ultra legends. I think I know where that's going. But yeah, the signing the older guys, not a way to not a way to win an MLS anymore. I mean, that was good for a while back, but not anymore. And Daniel Young has jumped on here. So Daniel, how's it going, man? And hope good luck to your NYCFC tomorrow morning. That is for sure.
Oh man, Ryan Anderson says I got a Breck Shea agenda. I don't know what you mean by that, my friend. Breck Shea was just supposed to be the next great thing in American soccer, and then ended up with stints in Vancouver and now in Atlanta, I think, for a minute, and now here he is with Miami as their third leading goal scorer. So
Yeah.
I don't know what agenda I'm pushing here. I'm just reciting facts. You form your own opinions. That's what I do as an attorney.
I mean, look, he did have a session there at Stoke City, and that's where all Americans go to die. So if
Josie Altidore as well, right?
You're done. But yeah, nothing really to talk about in this one. Carranza does come in for Agudelo, which I know Juan Agudelo has been completely invincible this first half and first 60 minutes. But
yeah,
why are you taking out a striker? Don't swap out the one striker for another striker. I mean, I know they've got Pellegrini in as well, so
right.
They'll have two up top. But that to me, I'd put three up top. I mean, get your guys up there. Get your offensive players in. That's what they need.
Well, they brought in Ulloa for Trapp, so and then Carranza for Agudelo. So I'm wondering if Ulloa and Carranza have a little better combination play or have a little better understanding of each other than maybe Trapp would with Carranza or some of the other guys. So
long cross obviously the box by Lewis Morgan falls all the way back to Elvis Powell. It's blocked out nicely by McCarty, but falls right to the foot of, I believe, just off the bench Carranza, and forces a good save out of Willis. So maybe Miami trying to get something going here. I mean, they need to do something. They got to do something, man. This is I want to see I want to see a good game. Like, come on, Miami, get a goal back. All right, here's the corner kick by Lewis Morgan. Sends it into the box, in swinging corner. McCarty gets his head on it. The Nashville players are a little bit of miscommunication there, but it does get cleared out back to AJ De La Garza, who's kind of your mid-center back right now tonight for Miami. A couple 50-50 challenge there on the side. Nashville gets the ball, and the ref plays the advantage. Mokhtar in the middle sends it into Jonder Cadiz, and a nice defensive clearance by Figal as he makes a game-saving tackle, if not an obliteration-saving tackle. Because
embarrassment
right now, this is going to be ugly. We did say it had the potential to get ugly, and JJ Jardim says, so maybe Miami can get a field goal to tie the game from the 30-yard line. I mean, but the football lines are there, and why not throw up a goalpost, right?
There you go, man. I can't remember Miami trying to take a shot from outside the 18. I mean, if Higuaín's in the game, he's doing that. He's stretching the defense a little bit more, and a defense as sound and compact as Nashville.
2-on-1 now for Mokhtar and Figal. Nice defensive play there. Miami is holding on by a string at the moment. It is not looking good for Miami. But Veronica is back with us. Thanks for coming back. And then Carnegie says, guys, Inter scoring in 7 minutes. And David says, you're saying this every 7 minutes. That's a good one.
But you know what? Man. That's the mindset they need.
And then Carnegie Dixon says, I said it so that they can say it out loud, man. Absolutely. A little superstitious there. I am as well.
Well, Miami's starting to get some opportunities here. You know, Pizarro with the great shot there. They're looking to pull the trigger a lot earlier in their possessions than they have been. So that's how you got to get back in, right? You can't score if you don't shoot. But now we got Nashville making some subs, bringing some fresh legs on, looking to slow down that Miami attack a little bit.
Well, I mean, look at what they're doing. I mean, this is just smart play by the manager. He knows they've got another game in 3-4 days up against Toronto FC if the result holds. You're going to be traveling to Connecticut. Take off your best players. Leal, Jonder Cadiz. I'm sure we'll see Dax McCarty coming out shortly. I think with those subs, we just saw what he's trying to do. And as he should, being up 3-0 in the 70, almost 70 minutes into the game, this I don't see a way back for Miami at this point.
No, again, they need to get one. What is it? We got 20 minutes left, 25 minutes left. Are they going to get a goal every 7 minutes like we're being asked for here on our chat? I mean, I almost feel like I'm watching an NCAA tournament game. I'm like, the point per minute rule is still in effect, or the 3-pointer per rule is still or per minute is still in effect. The goal per 7 minutes is still in effect here for Inter Miami. But you got to get one before you can get three, Mike. And I don't even see Miami looking that threatening for one. They've had a couple good opportunities, but it's all been in traffic, and the defense and the goalkeeper has been able to read it pretty well. And you know what? Nashville can just start booming it down just like they did there. They don't have to worry about playing for possession out of the back and expending energy on defense anymore. They can just boom it down and just hang out for a minute.
Yeah, absolutely. Miami trying to build something out of the back. Figal tries to make a run around, I believe, Derek Jones, and Jones just takes the ball right off him. Long ball over the top to Nashville, sends it over, and the keeper comes out. It's not looking good for Miami right now. Blaise Matuidi, who really got caught jogging on that last goal, he sends the ball into the middle. Lewis Morgan sends it back out wide. Miami, can they get one back to try and make this a little bit exciting here for the last 20 minutes? I don't know. I don't see it happening. Not when you've got a good defensive team like Nashville, and they're just at this point, all they have to do is sit back. They don't have to, they don't have to push forward at all. They've got the three they need. So here comes a wide ball to Mikey Ambrose. Bad first touch, and Alistair Johnston comes away with the ball and fouled by Mikey Ambrose there. And he kicks the ball off towards the camera. So that'll be a yellow for him. He's frustrated. Of course, I think all of the Miami players are frustrated. It's starting to set in for them that this one is probably done.
Yeah, it's kind of sad to see that the game's over with 20 minutes of regulation left in it. But you know what? That falls on Miami. They were not ready to play. And I feel terrible writing them off at this point because they've been such a fun team to watch all season. And when their stars are clicking, you know how good they can be. And then you can see, like tonight, how terrible they can be. And, they can only hustle so much. Hustle only gives you so much. This is not, we were talking about the league before, and we got some comments about the Miami Stars are too old. Yeah, you can't just walk over here from Europe and be this star player, man. Those days are over. Watch your
TV. Just watch your TV.
Oh goodness, am I 10 seconds behind now? This is ridiculous. And I'm watching
a back pass from De La Garza.
Oh boy.
And the ball just hops right over the keeper's foot and goes out of play for a corner.
Oh,
that just sums it up for Miami. I mean, it is just it. God bless them, man. It's ugly. I kind of feel bad for the fans with how ugly this is. But I know a team that lost their first ever playoff game 3-0, and turned out to be pretty good after that.
Oh, gee, Mike, who's that?
So I got a comment on Twitter here from Finbar777 Blue Jays hat. Yes, Blue Jays, and that alludes to this here, Toronto FC, my hometown team. I am from Toronto. They lost 3-0 to Montreal in 2015. And everybody was they played like crap. They played like Miami did in that game. It was trash. And then since then, they've been to 3 MLS Cups. They've won an MLS Cup, almost won the Champions League. They won a Supporters Shield. So not bad. So maybe that could be a good omen for Miami. So we'll see. But don't count on it.
Yeah. I mean, until they can get some more experience playing together, until they can have an actual offseason and an actual regular season together, it's going to be hard for them to do anything here. That's for sure.
Yeah.
And watching the replay
pulls up with a bit of a hamstring issue. He's still down on the ground. That's not good for Nashville. Godoy seems to be pretty injured here, so I doubt we'll see him on Tuesday. This is what you don't want to see. And even as a Toronto FC fan, this is the stuff you don't want to see. A guy going out like this in a meaningless point of the game. Hate to see it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the trainers were out there right away, and his hands are covering his face. Like he knows something's hurt here. Um, yeah, hopefully it's just a little bit of a pull, and he can work it out. Um, hopefully there's no muscle tear or anything more severe, because he looks like he's in some pain. That's for sure. Hopefully it's just more emotional than it is physical. But man, you got the Nashville coach there. Who's that? Gary Smith, who's he's sharing in the concern of his player there. You're right, because he knows now he's down one more for the rest of their playoff run. That's tough.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially Godoy.
Young says that Tottenham were down 3-0 versus Ajax, and Balbustos points out Miami is no Spurs. Absolutely correct.
No.
On that one. And Cardicky
did. The only difference is I like Miami better than Spurs. So,
but yeah, it is getting boring now. It's 3-0. This is this game's pretty much over. As Miami does at least get a little bit of a break here, and outswinger. No, that's not. Oh, he does get the ball out to Morgan here, and now Ambrose in the corner looking to get the ball into the middle of the box. They're even having trouble doing that, especially with Nashville sitting back. And Nashville clears the ball out and up the field. So this here comes. Oh, there's a nice ball there to I believe it's Derek Jones, or is it Dominic Baji?
Whoa, we got a Dom Baji sighting here.
No, I think Baji's out for the season. But it was Derek Jones with his blue hair to go with the yellow jersey there, I guess. Oh God, here's another Nashville player down. Looks like it's Rios.
Oh boy. How much of this do you think is time wasting and gamesmanship, or how much do you think it's actual concern over health and injury here?
It's health and injury here. There's no time wasting. You're not wasting time. This game's over. Miami's looked like shit all night long. They've had nothing going for them whatsoever, and I mean, there's no point to time waste. I mean, if this game was close, even if it was 2-0, maybe. But even then, I don't think I would put it there. I mean, Miami is done nothing in this game. They've looked like trash, but for 20, 30 minutes in the middle of the game, and man,
yeah. Well,
and Garricky Dixie says, "See you guys later. Then great efforts by you guys, highly appreciated. Thank you for the subscription. Thanks for jumping on, Carnegie Dixit, and we will see you on the next episode." Unfortunately, nothing for Miami tonight. So, but there will always be next year. We'll see what the signings will look like in the offseason. Be an interesting team to watch in the offseason, that's for sure.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And they've got a lot of roster. They've got a lot of roster moves that they're going to have to really look hard at, because, you know, just like every other MLS team on paper looks all right, right? Paul Fagal, Trapp, Matuidi, Morgan Pizarro, Agudelo. Like, this is a solid lineup on paper that Miami's had. So maybe they just need some more time together. I could absolutely see Miami making very few moves or just making depth moves. But at the same time, as flat as they've come out in some goals or in some games this year, I could see them shaking up a couple things, dropping a DP or moving a few international slots around. I could see it either way. I don't know how Miami's front office is going to work, but if it's David Beckham and it's Miami, they're going to try to make a big signing because that's what they feel like they need to do. That's the image they're portraying. Yeah.
I mean, they're not going to. I mean, they're going to go after people. I don't think you're going to see a huge rebuild, but you're definitely going to see a big name signing come in. That's for sure. They'll probably rework one of I believe it's was it Carranza or Pellegrini? I can never remember which one's the DP. But they'll probably rework that in TAM, or possibly with the new under 21 young player DP rule that looks like it's going to get instituted in the season. There's going to be moves to be made for Miami, and they do just need some time to gel. They've got a good coach. I think Alonso will be a good coach. We'll see. And here's Prabhu Mariner, Dream X1 expert, and goal possible at Miami. I don't see it happening tonight, but he says he's going to keep supporting Miami, and good on you. Nobody gives up on their team, that's for sure. But
Yeah, I mean, you know what? For Miami as an expansion team to get into the playoffs,
right.
if you want to consider this play-in game a playoff, I mean, it's still,
It's
I
a
guess you
playoff game,
call
man.
it.
They played their regular season games. This is a playoff game.
Yeah, you know, I would say this was a successful season for them. They got their major signings. The stadium is underway. They've got their organization in place. Maybe they're still figuring out the style that Alonso wants these guys to play. Maybe the results and consistency weren't there, but that's an expansion team, right, Mike? Like we saw that with Nashville too. They went through their struggles. We saw it with Chicago, who was essentially a de facto expansion team this year, rebranding, new stadium, turning over half their roster, which, by the way, they actually got rid of Sapong. They're not re-signing him, so they're still moving some of the old guys off their squad. Chicago was up and down all season, and at the end found themselves on the outside looking into the playoff line. You know, Miami barely gets into the playoffs. This is what you'd expect from an expansion team. What we need them to do is carry it over to next season. That is what we found to be most difficult. And I remember that doing a preview show way back at the beginning of the season. Expansion teams make the playoffs, you know, at a pretty good clip. I think like every third expansion season or every other expansion season, they're making the playoffs. But getting back to it consistently, that's the word I'm thinking of. You know, doing it back-to-back years, that's the challenge. I think, you know, Minnesota and Philly got in early, but they didn't come back for a long time. Meanwhile, you got a team like Orlando who's in it for the first time, and they look like they can sustain success. So that's what these teams got to look at now going forward, especially Miami, who really flamed out here in this playoff game. They've got to look at, okay, what did we do well? How do we keep that? How can we get some depth on this roster? Because an MLS schedule is tough. That's for sure. And if they can do that, I expect to see them right back in that, you know, 6, 7, 8 spot next season, if not in the middle to the top of the playoff picture in the East.
That is definitely a positive outlook for Miami. I think this team did get helped out by the COVID expansion of the Eastern Conference playoffs to 10 teams. I don't know. I don't know if they're quite a mid to top table team in the East next season. Of course, we have a lot of off season and whatnot to see how that goes.
Oh yeah,
not only
MLS offseason is very active. That's for sure.
Yeah. So I mean, we'll see how it plays out, but yeah, I think Matt Tweedy is, you know, a TAM signing. It's a good signing for Miami, and they've got some really good pieces. So we'll see how that plays out. As we speak here, Miami's trying to get a little bit of pressure going. They've been, you know, sending the ball up the field, trying to get something out of this one here. 10 minutes to go in this game. Just don't see it happening here. The fans are excited in Nashville. They're going to see their first victory, first playoff victory. So that's huge for them. Good on them. And you know, looking at where this team was back, man, I mean, look at the first few weeks of the season. And then with the MLS's back tournament, having to withdraw from that because of the COVID issues. I mean, this is a really, really rough start for this team. And to be able to come out and get a playoff victory over the other expansion team, which I know both you and I, when we were talking in our previews, man, when we were talking about the expansion teams, it was Miami is the better expansion team, hands down. It's not even close. And,
right, but yet we both picked Nashville in this game.
Well, right. I mean, yeah. I mean, look, when you get to, you know, when you know what's going on, you know, there we had no idea. Well, we were just going based off the rosters on paper, and still now when you put these lineups together, when you put these two lineups together from tonight, yes, Miami losing some of their players. Nashville on paper wins that, but a full strength Miami side on paper against this Nashville side on paper, you might go Miami.
Right. And again, looking back at the possession now, Mike, it's flipped. Miami now has 53% of the total game possession. So they've dominated the possession in the second half here, because early on in this game, it was 70-30, 72-28 in favor of Nashville. So Miami has definitely fought their way back into this game. Problem is, all their possession is coming in the defensive third and the middle third of the field. They have not been able to sustain any sort of pressure. They'll get the ball down, they'll get a shot off, and that's the end of it. They don't have follow-up opportunities. They don't have, again, sustained pressure. They're not imprinting their style of play on this game. Despite 9 shots and 3 shots on target, nothing to show for it. Meanwhile, you got Nashville, who's got 3 shots on target, 5 overall, 3 goals. So Nashville, put it on frame, get it in net. That's kind of what they've been doing and just holding on. So it's unfortunate for Miami that they couldn't do anything offensively given their roster and given the excitement and all that other stuff. But that's the way the game broke for them. They did not come ready to play tonight. And I've said it before, I'll say it again.
Yep. Yeah.
Thanks for the reaction, man. That was great. Yep.
Dude, I got to give it to the 20 people that are still watching with us on all our platforms here. Thanks for still hanging with us here with this one being just pretty much game over.
Yeah. Well, hey, let's look ahead a little bit then, Mike. You're the TFC fan. You're Mr. North of the border here. How excited are you to play Nashville?
I'm not excited at all.
No,
not excited at all.
Some damage, huh?
Against the Toronto FC side, yes, because Toronto FC is limping into the playoffs right now, and I'm a little bit nervous. A little bit nervous with the defensive team like Nashville. Pablo Piatti, I don't know what his status is if he's going to be back. I really haven't been following too much TFC news lately. Not like I used to, but I don't know what the injury status is for him, but if he's not in that game, and we've got, Akinola and Altidore up top, I think we should be okay. I think that Toronto FC can get it done. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't put Nashville as the favorite, but it makes me nervous. And Ryan Anderson says, he's the TFC guru here. He says, I think it will be a challenge, but we'll have the players back. We should come out on top, as well as we should be fine. So I agree. I think we'll be okay. But against Nashville, it is a bit it makes me nervous. This team has nothing to lose. Toronto, like I've said before, they're ready to go home.
Yeah.
And they've had a taste of it now because over the last couple of weeks they did get to go home. So now they're going away again. This is like the 4th time this year that they've gone away and they don't know when they're coming back.
Sure.
Now they might be back in a week, but the fact that they don't know just is like, for me, like if I know Storm is getting called when I'm working, it makes it that much easier because I know when the end is going to be, right? When you don't know, you don't know. And that just really makes me nervous. But looking at
who was that from Nashville? It just went over the board.
Still chanting. They're still going nuts. Good on the Miami fans. That's good to see. I mean, that is true fandom, man. I mean, I remember being in the supporter sections with TFC fans when we were the worst team in the world, per Danny Kovermans. And, the fans were still singing, chanting, going nuts. And hope, that's a good sign there for Miami.
Absolutely.
JJR says Piatti and Ao will be east to go. Josie will be good to go. And then he says ready as well. So that is a good sign for TFC for sure. So we'll see. But
for sure, man. And TFC, like I get what you're saying about them being away from home and going back and forth and not knowing. Like on the one hand, I totally get it. I remember my wife used to travel for work and, she'd be gone for a few days and all that would be left around our apartment was like pizza boxes and beer cans and piled up laundry. So like I get being away from family and things going on like that. But at the same time though, Mike, these guys are professionals. This is what they have geared their entire life for. And especially a coaching staff and a management and an organization as experienced and knowledgeable and talented as Toronto FC.
Here comes the chance now for Rios with Nashville at the top of the box and a nice block slide there by AJ De La Garza. Almost made it 4. Anyways, continue.
Well, I was gonna say, yeah, I get the human aspect of it, but man, like these are professionals. This is what they do. This is what they're paid to do. This is what they've trained their entire lives to do. And TFC as an organization is ready to put them in the best position to win. And Vanny is a coach who understands it. And as much of a player's coach as Vanny is, I don't think he's ever going to say like, hey guys, if you don't win this game, it's okay. I know you miss your families. I know you miss your families. Like no one's ever going to do that. So I do expect TFC to come out ready to play. I've picked TFC to win that game. I think they still are more talented.
Oh yeah.
But if Nashville comes out fired up like today, and if you're giving these players any bit of space, Nashville strikers that is, they're going to take advantage of it. And whoever's starting in goal for TFC better be ready.
Yeah, totally. And you know me. I mean, you know me personally, Nick, and you know my feelings about the human aspect and that these guys are professionals, right? However, in this case, I can just see where the frustration can play, and judged by the leadership that I've seen out of the team, by players, coaches, management, and things like that, that just concerns me a little bit. It's gotten a little soft around BMO Field lately, and that's a bit of a concern for me. But hey, we got Raul Figueroa just subscribed to the channel. Thank you, Raul. Appreciate you.
All right.
That's awesome. Appreciate that. And for everybody else that's watching, if you have not done so already, make sure you do so and get involved in our 1,000 YouTube subscriber challenge to win a $250 Visa gift card. If you are that lucky subscriber, Raul is entered. And if you haven't done so yet, make sure you do it, because Inter Miami's not going to do it. They're taking their time right on back to Miami with their fans. We're still singing "Good on them, good on them." But see you running through the chat there on YouTube. Good stuff, man. This one is done. No stoppage time whatsoever. It's over.
Oh wow,
Nashville.
Referee wants to go home.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell that this one was done because neither team was really going after anything. So the ref makes the good decision. Ismail Elfath makes the right call, and that's the final, ladies and gentlemen. 3-0.
Congratulations, Nashville. First ever MLS playoff victory. Excellent showing for them tonight.
Yep, congratulations to Nashville. They'll be back Tuesday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time against TFC in Hartford, Connecticut, and Godoy is walking around again, so that's a good sign for them. Their fans are fired up. Good on them, sticking with their team through the rough times, and now they get that first playoff victory. So, Nick, this pretty much wraps it up for me, man. Let me know. What are your final thoughts on this?
Dude, it was fun. That first half was great. I expected more from Miami to begin. I expected even more from them to come out in that second half. I thought they'd have a better game plan. I thought they'd come out with a little bit more urgency, or at least maintain it. They didn't. Nashville took advantage. Great game for Nashville, executed when they need to. Who'd have thought that their offense would be the story tonight rather than their defense? So that's great for me. As a housekeeping measure, thanks to everyone who's listening, subscribing, joining, talking. Dude, this was great. We had people from all over the UK. We had people from Europe, Italy, people from all over the US. I think someone from Costa Rica was on. Like, this is great. This is what we want to do is grow the sport, have conversation, bring people together. This was awesome, Mike. So for everyone out there, subscribe here on YouTube. Subscribe and follow on Twitter at SOPSoccer. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. Look us up. Share your friends. David Barliak from Oregon. We got someone out on the West Coast joining us for this great Eastern Conference matchup. Like, this is awesome. So make sure you're subscribing, you're following. Subscribe to the podcast. Get everything sent straight to your phone. We are on Google. We're on iTunes. We're on Stitcher, Spotify. Look for us, find us, join us, follow, subscribe, interact, and most of all, just enjoy the game of soccer.
Absolutely. Well said, Nick. Well said. We will be back Sunday night. Portland Timbers, FC Dallas, live stream reaction. Sunday night, I think it's going to be a late one, man, 9 or 9:30 Central Standard Time. So make sure you guys come and join us for that, and turn your notifications on so that you know when we go live for that one. With that being said, everybody, thank you so much for joining. It's been lots of fun, a very good live stream reaction, and thanks for all you guys do. Nick, thanks for doing what you do, and we will talk to you all very soon Sunday night.